Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining with me again. Joining me. I'm having a hard time. Today's Monday for me. It's a hard time talking. Thanks so much for being here again on another episode of the Six Figure Designer podcast. So glad to have you here and hanging out with me. And one of the things that keeps coming up over and over and over again that I've heard from designers is I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say in this situation. I don't know what to say when a client pushes back. I don't know what to say when I'm talking to someone for the first time. So I thought I would actually do an episode about how to handle what to say, because this is really like one of my superpowers and what I really help people do, because apparently it's a real issue. So many of you guys are holding back, reaching out, talking to people, maybe making new contacts because you simply don't know what to say. So I want to help you with that in this episode. And the thing that sparked all of this is not only your thoughts, people kind of commenting, what should I say in this XYZ situation? But I ran across, I'm kind of like a little movie buff. I like older movies. And I ran across a movie called Hitch. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that movie, but it has Will Smith in it and Kevin James. And the premise of the movie is that Will Smith is basically a romantic coach for men, and he helps them, start the conversation, figure out what to say to start a relationship or start dating women, and especially women that they want to, have that they're attracted to. And same kind of a, situation applies to us as designers is we have certain vendors that we want to establish relationships with because they know they'd be so great for us, or they're doing wonderful work, or we've heard amazing things about them. And of course, as you know, your relationships with your vendors are everything. And when you have a great relationship with a great builder, it makes those projects so much better. So as I'm watching this movie Hitch, I'm kind of like seeing myself in this, coach role that's really helping people figure out what to say. And throughout the movie, Will helps Kevin basically get the woman of his dreams. And he helps him work through the awkward moments and the things that he does that has really, in the past not worked for him, and helps him get into a lasting relationship with someone that he's been in love with forever. And that's so similar to what I do. Consider me the hitch for your interior design business, because I'm going to help you figure out what to say, when to say it, and how to make a bigger impact on these key referral sources in your life, because it makes all the difference in the world. So I don't call myself the hitch, but I call myself the closing coach. And the reason I call myself the closing coach is because I can not only help people close projects, but also, which so many of you don't realize, is that the sales process has more than one step. In fact, I have 6 steps, 6 distinct steps in the sales process. And because maybe you're not aware of that, you're really only dealing with people probably 9 times out of 10 that are ready to go right now, that are ready to make a decision about an interior designer right now or in the next couple weeks. But in reality, the process is really much longer than that. And the challenge happens when, you're a designer in your business and you're doing design and working and managing projects, and then having to also plant those seeds for future projects. And because we've always had this thought process that I'll get to it when I have time, which is when I'm done with a project, it can be frustrating. It feels like it's up and down, right? We have all the highs of maybe getting a couple projects at once, and then the lows of nothing or crickets for months. And that's because we're only going after people who have projects right now. So we're not planting any seeds that that kind of mature over time, that can create long lasting, basically harvesting of projects. If you start to plant those seeds, you'll understand that over time, those referrals will come back again and again and again, and it smooths out the highs and lows of running a business. So in my business, and when I coach you, we have a 6-step process that when it comes to either prospects and or vendor referrals, because there's actually two different items at play right at that, in two different times during the process. But just like design, sales is a process. You start in one place and many times you end up in another. Have you ever started a project where the client thought 100% this is the way they were going? And then once you started talking to them, once you started educating them, once you started showing them all the new things that are available, their minds changed a little bit because they got educated in terms of what's out there, what's available, not just what everyone else has, but something different. And so that same goes with when we work together in a coaching capacity, is what you think the ways that you're getting clients or where you're finding your clients may change over time. And in fact, I see this time and time again, where I have a coaching client that all of her leads were coming from a Facebook group. And while she was getting a high volume of leads, she wasn't getting a high quality of leads. So we went back and, analyzed what was happening there and then really changed where the leads were coming from. The quality of leads are way better now. She's not wasting a lot of time getting on discovery calls only to find out that they really don't have the the means to hire her for full scope services, which is what she wants to do. They really want someone to consult with them, and that's really not where she wants her business to go. So the same goes for your interior design business. Maybe you're struggling getting leads to come in on a steady basis, or the leads that are coming in are just not great. We need to step back and figure out why that is. Is it the people that you're talking to? Is it the lead source, the referral source that you're using that's maybe not the best one? Or maybe we're going after the wrong type of client. So all of that's a process that happens when we work together. So let's kind of circle back to I don't know what to say, situation that may be happening in your business. I had a designer that I was working with, and she said, here's a situation. I have a friend, acquaintance, really, really an acquaintance that I know is building a new home. And of course, I want an opportunity to work with them. I know that they're not working with a designer right now. I know that, building a house is, incredibly full, it's just complex, right? It's full of lots of decisions. There's lots of moving parts. Someone has to kind of stay on top of the decisions as they move through the process. So they're giving them the choices in the right order, right? All of that stuff. And we all know how complicated that is, but many times clients who've never done this before, they don't really understand. And she's like, I don't know how to approach this person. I don't know what my first thing is to say. I don't know what to do. So first thing we want to know is, she wants to know how I should open the door first. Should I do it via text, an email, or a phone call? And we ultimately decided that because it was an acquaintance and she already had their phone number, that she was going to go ahead and text them. And she was then like, great, I will go ahead and do that. What do I say? How do I word it? What do I do? And here's the quick answer to what I told her that she should be doing. She should say, hi there, so-and-so, right? So you're addressing them. I heard you're building a new home from my referral source, right? So from X, from Joe, from Mike, from Linda. So you're now connecting the person to another friend of theirs. So you're making the connection that we know somebody in common, right? Hi there, I heard you're building a new home from Mary. How exciting. So you're kind of jumping in on their excitement of all those great things that happen when someone decides that they want to build a home. It is a really exciting time and it's fun until you get a couple months in and it becomes really, really like a second job, right? But we all know that, but clients don't know that yet. They're still in the fun part. So I heard you're building a new home from so-and-so. How exciting. I'm sure all the details and decisions are taking up a lot of your time. So you're now going, I know what you're going through. There's a lot going on, right? And then the next thing is if you need some help with that, I'd be happy to help in any way I can. Signed, you would sign your name, obviously. And so what you're doing is you're soft opening the door saying, I heard this thing's happening. I'm so happy for you. And I know there's a lot to be done. I would be happy to help and pitch in any way I can. That's it. That's the quick text message or email or phone call, voice message, because nowhere answers the phone anymore. That would be the voice message that you would leave. And I think that that's enough. I mean, that's it. It's as simple as that. And I want to just kind of cycle back to most of us think that there's only one or two steps in the sales cycle. The client fills out a form on our website and we do a discovery call. That's it. You guys think that that's it. There's actually a lot more to it. People are probably, sending you buying signals. They're giving you indications of where they're at. You're just not seeing that because most times as designers, we are looking to sign a client in the next week or the next 2 weeks. We're not usually thinking my summer is looking free. How can I start to plant the seeds to get clients in the summer? So 3 or 4 or 5 months from now, we're thinking a lot shorter term. And that's where things start to break down because it's really hard to drum up business in a week or two. And that's where the stress comes in of the ups and downs of the sales cycle. So let's just talk briefly about the 6 stages of the sales process, just to kind of give you a little orientation of how we approach it here in the Luxury Client Academy and how we track it, because it makes it so much easier to have jobs come in on a steady basis when you are planting the seeds and understanding that clients can be anywhere from stage 1 through 6 as you're talking to them. So stage 1 is a suspect, which is basically we just know their name. We know that's it. We know that something's happening and we happen to know someone's name. We call them a suspect. They're the very first in the sales process. Then it goes to prospect, which is we're now starting to know something about them. We know they have a project. We know they're using Builder XYZ. We know they just bought a house in some community, right? So that's considered a prospect. The third stage is there's an opportunity, which means we have spoken to them, we have qualified them in some way, and we are looking to submit a proposal. Now, you understand that that opportunity phase could last several weeks, but that's what an opportunity really is now we've talked to them, it's a project that we're interested in, and we are going to provide some kind of proposal for our services. Then the next stage is the proposal phase, which is we have actually submitted the proposal to them and we are awaiting some kind of feedback from them. Fifth stage is we call it the final stage, which is when we're going to get a yes or a no. So it's decision-making time, right? We want to know, are they going to go with us or not? So we're waiting for that final decision. And then the sixth stage is actually we are in contract. So they have signed the contract, they have given us money, and so we have officially closed. Now, in the final stage, someone may give you a verbal, but that is not considered in contract until it's final, right? Till the done deal. Because we've heard so many people say, yes, I'm going to do this, and then never fully follow through, correct? So those are just the 6 stages of the sales process. And that's why I want to impress upon you that you can't just finish a project and hope another one comes along in a week or in 2 weeks, because not everybody is ready right now. But that doesn't mean that they aren't a good fit, that they wouldn't be a good client. And also I want you guys to think about, as you're getting bigger projects, because I know almost universally everybody wants to do bigger projects than they're doing, ideally whole home projects, those things don't just start really, really quickly. There's a lot of planning involved. There's a lot of going on behind the scenes for months. For instance, if you have somebody that is going to be building a home, the first person they usually contact is a builder. And so they may be in discussions with the builder or an architect for months before they even think about a designer. So we want to try to get in as early as possible. We want to throw our name in the hat. Sorry, again, Monday's hurting me today. So we want to get our name in the mix as early as possible because then we want to wrap it up. Like we don't want them to be looking at multiple people. We want them to know that we are the ones. We are the ones that they want to work with. So I want to be impressing on you that in order to make things easier on you and not have the ups and downs and all that stress of I have a project and I'm finishing a project and then now what? There's no projects on the horizon. So this is exactly why I'm running this rapid referrals challenge that's coming up at the beginning of March because it's hands-on. We are going to be hanging out together for 2 days, about an hour and a half each day, and we're going to be identifying your key referral partners, and then we're going to be prioritizing them. And we're prioritizing them into how quickly we think they can refer a project to us. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to be reaching out to them during the challenge. So no more of this, I'm waiting for the right time. I don't know what to say. I'm worried about how I'm going to look. I am going to help you with all of that while we're in the room together. I'm going to be your Hitch in this challenge. I am going to help you determine exactly what to say to those people that we want to reach out to so that you feel really, really good about it and that you finally feel like you're making movement, progress, that you're planting seeds now for the future. And then after the challenge, I am going to show you how to take all these strategies to the next level, which will be introducing you to my 9-month coaching program, which is the Luxury Client Academy. This is where we dive even deeper into building that systematic referral strategy. We talked about the 6 stages. We actually have a dashboard where you get to input all your information on who you're talking to and where things sit in the 6 stages, and also tracking the dollar amount from what you thought it was worth and all the way to what it's actually worth. So you get all of that in the Luxury Client Academy, and that really helps us solidify you moving forward and having a system that will really start to garner referrals, again, and again. That's how you have multiple people in the queue, because when you have people in multiple stages, then you can pull forward the people who are ready right now, but you're still planting the seeds for those people who are not quite ready, but are still good opportunities, right? So a designer I'm working with in the academy right now, we went through and prioritized a lot of her key referral partners. And yes, she got a couple opportunities right away, which was incredible because people were being so incredibly giving with her and really wanted to help her because they liked her so much. And so she was getting into some opportunities right away. But she was also, it took a month or so to get into some additional opportunities. And then some are still in the works. There's projects floating around out there, but they haven't come around. But what she's doing, and this is all, timing is crucial here. So we've got to work a little bit each day, every week, to be planting more and more seeds. So we have to be making sure that we're staying in touch. So continual touch points with these people. So we're staying top of mind because they're busy too. I mean, haven't you had a situation when you're really, really busy and you need something in your business, but you just haven't had a chance to look and the right person emails you at the right time? And then you're like, oh, that's awesome. This is exactly what I need. And then you hop on it. That's what we are, currently operating on, is we think that the right person at the right time, at the right moment just happens to need us, which is great. But we can't have a sustainable business on that. We've got to be planting the seeds for longer term referrals to come in over and over again. So staying in touch, super important. Following up, so super important. Again, if you meet somebody and they say they're going to contact you and they don't, you can't just let it go. You have to follow up with them. So that is another critical item that we're always constantly looking at in the Luxury Client Academy. And the other thing is, I'm teaching you how long your average sales cycle is for those bigger projects, because we're tracking when they first contacted you and then when it actually closed. So it's really an eye opener in terms of what kind of projects, how long they're taking to be from first contact until close, because it's a really important number to understand. And when we're following up with people, of course, the language has to be much more than I'm just following up with you, right? We don't want to be just saying, I'm just following up, because you feel weird too. I don't know how many designers are like, I don't know what to say, but I don't want to just say, I'm just following up again, right? And I want to give you another piece of language. So if you're having a hard time, if you've submitted a proposal and somebody's just not responding to you or they haven't answered you, you can employ a technique called the 9-word email. And the 9-word email is a thing of beauty. I did not come up with it. It is an incredible tool that I use in my own business. And the amazing thing about it is that it is short, it is sweet, it is to the point, and it's expecting a response. And it really does work pretty well. So the 9-word email is, are you still interested in interior design services for your home? That's it. So if you have somebody that hasn't answered you, why don't you go ahead and send that email? It actually might be a little more than 9 words, but not much more. And that's the whole point of it. We like to make lots of flowery language and all these kinds of things. And sometimes just having a very clear, concise email will get people to answer. Now, the answer may be no, but at least you're getting an answer. And I know it's so incredibly frustrating to put a proposal out there and not even have an answer, yes or no, or maybe, or anything. And so this kind of moves them towards answering you. So I would suggest that you employ the 9-word email in situations where you're just getting crickets from people. The beauty is it just asks directly, where do they stand? And I would definitely try it the next time you haven't heard back from someone. So if you're sitting there wondering, what should I do now? Then I think you need to be in the Rapid Referrals Challenge. And if you're wondering if that is for you, let me say that if you're a designer who's tired of chasing those clients, tired of hoping for the best, tired of feast or famine, where you've got too many projects one minute and not enough the next minute, and it's just so incredibly frustrating, and you want to scale, then this challenge is for you for sure. And if you want to be confidently attracting those luxury clients and building those lasting relationships with referral partners, you need to get in to the challenge, because you deserve it. Like, we need to be moving our businesses forward so that it's much more sustainable and a lot easier. And I will tell you, working with luxury clients is a lot easier than working with budget-friendly clients. It's just so much less stress. So if you've been thinking about the challenge and you haven't signed up for the challenge, go ahead and get in the challenge. The link is in the show notes, and it'll take you right to the page where you can sign up and secure your seat. It's coming up March 5th and 6th. And like I said, we're going to be rolling our sleeves up. We're going to be working. So if you have been trying to reach out to people, trying to figure out what to say, to establish those relationships with some great builders in your area, and you just haven't had time, this is the time. We can set aside the hour and a half each day, 2 days, and we can get it done. We can get that ball rolling. We can get that train moving down the tracks. So I hope you guys sign up for the challenge. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want me to be your Hitch, then you need to sign up and be in the challenge, because I'm going to help you with that language so that you'll be a lot more confident moving forward, and we can start getting some of those bigger projects to come your way. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Take care.